Before stars were born, before planets formed, before oceans, trees, animals, and human beings, the universe faced a deeper question. How can something lasting emerge from something that is only moving? Waves can spread. Particles can appear. Energy can act, but action alone is not enough to build a world. For a universe to become visible, for existence to take shape, something had to remain. Something had to hold. Something had to become form. That is where matter begins. In the previous stage of evolution, we saw how energy expresses itself through waves, and how waves can give rise to particles. That was a great turning point. Because particles are no longer only spread out motion, they are more localized, more defined, more like the first signs of individuality in the universe. But still, a question remains. Can particles alone create a stable universe? Not yet. A particle may appear. A particle may interact. A particle may move. But if everything only appears and disappears, if everything is only temporary disturbance, then nothing enduring can be built. A universe cannot become rich through momentary events alone. It needs continuity. It needs relationships that repeat. It needs patterns that hold together long enough for structure to emerge. This is the threshold between activity and existence. We often think of matter as solid stuff, something we can touch, something heavy, something visible. But matter is more than that. Matter is not just a thing. Matter is stability. Matter is energy organized in a way that can remain. This does not mean matter is separate from energy. Rather, matter can be understood as one of energy's most stable expressions. Energy in motion is change. Energy in pattern is structure. Energy in stable structure becomes matter. This is one of the most beautiful ideas in the story of the universe. The visible world is not something outside energy. It is energy that has learned to hold form. How does this happen? Not in one instant. Not by magic. Not by accident alone. It happens through repeated interaction. When particles interact only once, the result may vanish. But when interactions become regular, when relationships become repeatable, when patterns begin to persist, then the universe takes its first step towards structure. This is a profound change. Earlier, energy was mostly movement. Now, movement begins to create order. And order changes everything. Because order can be preserved. Order can be repeated. Order can grow. Matter is born when interaction is no longer random disturbance, but stable relationship. This is the first architecture of existence. Why is stability so important? Because without stability, nothing can build upon anything else. There can be no accumulation, no memory, no growth. Imagine a universe where every pattern disappears instantly. In such a universe, there can be no atoms. No stars, no planets. No chemistry, no life, no mind. Stability is what allows the universe to remember itself. In matter, energy no longer only passes through a moment. It leaves behind a form. And once form appears, the future changes. Because form can combine with form. Structure can support structure. And complexity can begin its long journey. This is why matter is not a small step. It is one of the greatest turning points in the evolution of existence. In scientific language, we speak of atoms as the basic building blocks of matter. They are among the earliest stable units from which larger forms can be built. In EOE language, this is the stage where energy moves beyond event and becomes building block. That distinction matters. An event happens and passes. A building block remains and participates in creation. The birth of matter means the universe now has pieces with which it can construct worlds. From this point onward, the story of existence changes. Now there can be assembly. Now there can be combination. Now there can be layers of reality. What was once only motion can now become form. What was once only activity can now become structure. And structure is the doorway to everything that follows. Matter is the bridge between invisible energy and visible existence. Without matter, the universe may still contain movement, but it cannot contain worlds. Matter makes stars possible. Matter makes planets possible. Matter makes mountains, water, air, and bodies possible. Matter is what allows the cosmos to become something more than a field of events. It allows the cosmos to become a place where things can gather, a place where change can accumulate, a place where complexity can arise. And one day, in a distant continuation of this same process, matter will become living systems. Living systems will become awareness. Awareness will become thought. And thought will ask, where did all this begin? The answer leads back here, to the moment when energy first learned how to stay. There is also a deeper lesson hidden in this stage. Existence does not grow through motion alone. It grows when motion becomes meaningful pattern. The universe does not evolve only by changing. It evolves by preserving what can hold. This is true in matter, and perhaps in another way, it is true in life as well. Not every movement becomes progress. Not every event becomes history. Not every possibility becomes reality. Only what finds stability can participate in the future. Matter teaches us that creation requires more than energy. It requires order. It requires continuity. It requires form. And from form, all later beauty becomes possible. The birth of matter is not just a scientific moment. It is the beginning of the visible universe. Everything we know around us, stone, metal, water, clouds, blood, bone, trees, planets, stars, belongs to this unfolding. Matter is the silent foundation beneath every familiar thing. And yet, it began in an unfamiliar way, not as solid objects, not as finished shapes, but as stability emerging from the restless dance of energy. That is the wonder of the universe. What feels solid now was once possibility. What feels permanent now was once motion. What feels ordinary now is the result of an extraordinary evolution. So the story has moved forward. From unity came division. From division came difference. From difference came change. From change came waves. From waves came particles. And now, from particles comes matter. The universe has taken another step toward complexity. It has gained structure. It has gained memory. It has gained the power to build. But matter alone is not the end of the story. The next question is even greater. How does matter organize itself into larger systems, into worlds, and eventually into life? That is where our journey goes next. This is evolution of energy.